The night sky over Earth looked calm, almost peaceful, as if nothing bad could ever happen. But deep in the cold space above the planet, something strange was moving. Something big. Something dangerous. Commander Aaron Hayes stood inside the Earth Defense Control Room, staring at the main screen. It was a giant curved display that showed every object near Earth. Normally, it showed small dots, satellites, supply ships, research probes. But tonight the screen looked different. It was filling with red dots. Too many red dots. At first, Aaron thought it might be a glitch. The system sometimes showed false signals when the solar storms were strong. But tonight there was no storm. No warnings. No reason for the radar to malfunction. Still the dots kept coming. "Lieutenant Mara," Aaron said, keeping his voice calm, "run a second scan. Full power." "Yes, Commander." Mara's fingers moved quickly over her console. The system hummed loudly, and the sensors glowed bright blue as they scanned the void again. Everyone in the room waited. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15. Then the red dots doubled. Mara's face went pale. "Commander, this is not an error." Aaron stepped closer to the screen. The red dots were forming lines, long, perfect lines. War formations, military formations, and there were thousands of them. Not hundreds, not even a few thousand. More than 10,000. "Contact the President," Aaron ordered, "and alert the Global Defense Council. Priority 1. The message went out at once. Officers rushed across the room, opening communication lines, testing shields, activating defense drones. But Aaron did not move. He kept his eyes on the screen. Deep inside he already knew the truth. There was only one group in the entire galaxy that used this kind of formation. The Galactic Council. And if the Council was sending this many ships, they were not here to talk. They were here to destroy. The room grew quieter as the enemy ships came closer. The tension was heavy, pressing on everyone's chest. It felt like the air itself had become thick. Mara whispered, "Commander, why are they here? We did nothing wrong." Aaron did not answer. He wanted to say that she was right. That Earth had followed every law, kept every treaty. That humanity had never attacked any Council species. But he also knew something else. The Council feared humans. They always had. Humans were fast learners, creative thinkers, and stubborn fighters. Too stubborn. Too unpredictable. Too hard to control. The Council liked species that obeyed, species that were slow, species that feared them. Humans were none of those. The Council always saw humanity as a problem waiting to happen. Now it seemed they no longer wanted to wait. "Commander," another officer shouted. "We are receiving a transmission. Unknown origin. Coming from the enemy fleet." Aaron straightened his uniform. "Put it on." The room lights dimmed and a hologram formed in the air. The image flickered, then sharpened. A tall alien appeared, thin, silver-skinned, with glowing purple eyes. A Council judge. Everyone went silent. The alien looked down at Aaron as if he were an insect. "Humanity," the alien said, voice cold and emotionless, "your time is over. You grow too fast. You threaten the balance. We will end your species tonight." Mara gasped softly. Someone else cursed under their breath. But Aaron did not flinch. The alien continued, "Do not resist. It will only make your end painful." Then the hologram vanished. For a long moment the room was silent. Then Aaron spoke, his voice steady, controlled. "Activate silent protocol." Every officer looked up sharply. Silent protocol was Earth's most secret plan. No one talked about it. No one expected to use it. Some believed it was just a myth. "Commander, are you sure?" Mara asked. Aaron nodded. "They want us gone. All of us. We cannot take chances." Lights turned red as the entire base shifted into emergency mode. Massive steel doors locked. Energy barriers rose. Deep underground, powerful machines came alive for the first time in years. Silent protocol was real. And it was awake. But the enemy fleet was already too close. Their giant ships drifted into Earth's orbit, blocking sunlight. Millions of people across the planet looked up at the sky in fear. The alien ships were so large that they cast shadows over whole cities. Then the first shot came. A massive beam of blue energy burst from one of the Council ships, firing straight at Earth. It was strong enough to break mountains. Strong enough to crack continents. But Earth was ready. A golden shield spread across the planet like a glowing dome. The beam hit it and stopped. The shield shook, sparked, bent, but it held. People watching from windows screamed. Some fell to their knees. Some cried. Aaron only muttered one word. "Good." He turned to his officers. Send this message to the alien fleet. Short and simple. What message, Commander? Aaron stared at the giant red dots on the screen and spoke with cold steel in his voice. Humanity does not fall. The officers sent the message in seconds. High above Earth, the alien armada paused for the first time. They did not expect resistance. They did not expect confidence. And they definitely did not expect humanity to survive the first shot. Aaron watched as the enemy began to charge their weapons again. He took a deep breath. Prepare to return fire. And then everything went dark. The darkness that followed the first attack lasted only a few seconds, but for those watching from Earth, it felt like hours. Backup lights flickered on inside the Earth Defense Control Room. Officers rushed to reboot systems, reconnect power lines, and restore communications. Commander Aaron Hayes stood calmly in the middle of the room, even as alarms continued to echo through the base. He knew the worst part was not the attack itself. The worst part was the reason behind it. And now, he had to explain that reason to the entire planet. Systems returning, Mara reported. Shields at 60%. Defense grid online. Aaron nodded, but his eyes were on the main screen. The alien fleet, 10,000 ships, still surrounded Earth like a giant metal storm. They were not leaving. They were waiting for something. Aaron turned to the communication team. Prepare a global broadcast. Level 1 clearance. A few minutes later, every screen on Earth, phones, news channels, public displays, lit up with Aaron's face. People from every city, from New York to Nairobi to New Delhi, stopped and listened. They needed answers. People of Earth, Aaron began, the Galactic Council has declared us a danger to the galaxy. Millions gasped. Families held each other. Soldiers tightened their grips on weapons. Some whispered, "Why us? What did we do?" Aaron continued, his voice firm but calm. For many years the Council watched us. They studied our growth, our speed, our inventions. They feared our progress. He explained the truth the government had kept secret for decades. Humanity had advanced faster than any known species in the galaxy. In just a few hundred years, humans built starships, colonized planets, created new technologies, and solved problems that took other civilizations thousands of years. Humans were not the strongest, not the biggest, not the oldest, but humans adapted. They learned. They changed. The Council did not like that. There is more, Aaron said, taking a slow breath. Last year, our exploration ship Horizon discovered something the Council wanted hidden. Every officer in the room stopped what they were doing. They knew what Aaron meant. The Horizon mission. The mission that changed everything. Aaron leaned closer to the camera. The Horizon found evidence that the Council destroyed entire species in the past. Species they could not control. Species that did not obey. The truth was dark, darker than most humans could handle. But the time for hiding the truth was over. The Council calls these species chaos races, Aaron said. Races that think too differently. Innovate too fast. Resist too strongly. He paused. And they placed humanity in that category. The shock on Earth was massive. People froze in place. Some cried. Some shouted at their screens. Some asked the same question. Are they planning to erase us too? Aaron gave the answer. Yes. Silence followed. Deep, heavy silence. Aaron continued, 3 of our outer colonies, Solara, Vesper, and Halon, were destroyed by Council warships before they came to Earth. The news spread through the planet like a fire. Billions now understood the truth. This attack was not sudden. It was planned. Humanity was marked for deletion long before the first Council ship entered Earth's orbit. Inside the control room, Mara looked at Aaron with fear in her eyes. Commander, why now? Why attack today? Aaron clenched his jaw. Because the Council found out that we know the truth. They want to erase the evidence, and us. The officers exchanged worried glances. The enemy outside Earth was not only massive, they were desperate. Desperate enemies were always dangerous. Suddenly, a loud alarm echoed through the room. Commander, a technician shouted. Council fleet is moving. New formation detected. On the main screen, the red dots reshaped themselves into a massive wave. A second attack wave. Stronger than the first. Aaron frowned. They want to crush us fast. They want to finish this before other species question their actions. And Aaron was right. In faraway corners of the galaxy, smaller alien nations watched the battle. They did not dare interfere. They did not dare help Earth. The Council's message was clear. Oppose us and you will share humanity's fate. Commander, Mara said softly, why is the galaxy so afraid of us? Aaron looked at the screen, watching the enemy armada charge weapons again. Because we never stop fighting, he said. We fall, we stand again. We lose, we learn. We get hurt, we grow stronger. That is what scares them. He pressed a button on his console. Earth's defense ships began to rise from the surface, engines glowing blue. Hundreds, then thousands. The sky filled with human steel. Aaron spoke again, voice low and steady. The galaxy wants us gone because they know one thing. He paused. Humans don't break. The alien fleet fired another massive energy wave at Earth. The sky turned bright blue as the beam tore through space. Aaron raised his hand. Shields up. The golden shield activated again, brighter this time, stronger. The energy wave hit the shield like a hammer. Sparks flew. The planet shook. But the shield held. People across Earth cheered. Some cried with relief. Some shouted, "We will survive. We will fight." But Aaron did not celebrate. He knew the truth. The Council was not giving up. They were preparing something bigger. Something much worse. Mara looked at him, voice trembling. "Commander, what happens now?" Aaron stared at the enemy armada with cold determination. "Now," he said, "we show the galaxy why they should have feared us sooner." The second attack shook Earth harder than the first. Windows cracked, buildings trembled, oceans rippled like something was pushing the planet itself. But somehow the golden shield still held, glowing weakly but bravely around the entire world. Inside the Earth Defense Control Room, smoke drifted from damaged consoles. Officers coughed, alarms blared, and sparks fell from the ceiling. The atmosphere was heavy, part fear, part disbelief. But Commander Aaron Hayes stood straight, calm, focused. He had no choice. "Status?" Aaron asked, walking through the room. "Shields at 40%, Mara reported, wiping dust from her face. "Defense grid still online, but power cells are draining fast." Aaron nodded. "We buy time. Every second matters." He looked at the main screen again. The alien armada, more than 10,000 ships strong, was repositioning. Their formation was tightening like a giant fist ready to crush Earth. A cold silence filled the room. The message was clear. The next attack would not be a warning. It would be the final blow. "Any response from allied worlds?" Aaron asked. A communication officer shook his head sadly. "None, sir. Every message we sent was ignored." Ignored. Earth's so-called allies vanished. No help, no support, not even a single voice of protest against the Council. Humanity was alone. Truly alone. Mara swallowed hard. "So that's it. No one is coming to help us." Aaron looked at her, then at the frightened young officers around the room. "No. No one is coming." He stepped forward, speaking loud enough for the entire control room to hear. "But we are not the kind of species who waits for rescue. We save ourselves." The officers looked steadier. A few nodded. A few clenched their fists. Humanity had always been like this, cornered, isolated, pushed to the edge, yet still refusing to break. Aaron returned his attention to the screen. The alien ships were charging again. Blue energy lit up like 1,000 suns forming overhead. This was it. "Commander," an officer said shakily, "the Council fleet is preparing their full strike. If this hits, the shield will collapse." Aaron already knew that. Everyone did. Earth had one more chance. One. Mara stepped close to Aaron. "Sir, if the shield fails, billions will die." Aaron's face tightened. "Then we make sure the shield doesn't fail." He pressed his hand on the console. "Launch defense fleet." Across Earth, hangars opened like steel flowers. Hundreds of human starships rose into the sky. Frigates, cruisers, patrol ships, and long-range destroyers. Their engines glowed in bright blue and white colors. The sight was breathtaking. Earth was waking up. Earth was fighting back. Millions of people watched from windows, rooftops, and screens as human warships ascended into space like a shining swarm. For a moment, hope flickered in every heart. But the alien fleet was enormous. Where human ships formed dozens of lines, the alien fleet formed mountains in space. Their ships were larger, stronger, and older. Mara stared at the screen. "Do we really have a chance?" Aaron didn't lie. He didn't make false promises. He simply said the truth. "We fight because we must. We survive because humans never stop trying." The next second, the alien armada launched their full strike. A massive blue energy wave surged toward Earth, brighter than lightning, wider than continents. The world watched in terror. "Shield at maximum," Aaron shouted. The golden dome brightened, crackled, and shook violently as it met the Council's strongest attack yet. Shock waves rippled across the atmosphere. Clouds tore apart. Skies turned white. Impact in 10 seconds. Mara yelled. Hold it. Aaron commanded. 8 seconds. The control room shook violently. 7. Lights flickered. Consoles sparked. Officers fell to the ground. 6. People on Earth screamed as the sky glowed brighter and brighter. 5. The shield cracked, thin lines forming like broken glass. 4. Aaron gripped the console, jaw clenched. 3. A deep rumble echoed, like the sound of the planet crying. 2. The shield flickered, disappearing for half a second. Hold, damn it. Aaron roared. 1. And then, the shield stabilized. Barely. Weakly. But it held. The energy wave faded. The sky slowly darkened. The world exhaled. In the control room, officers collapsed into chairs, shaking with relief. Mara wiped tears from her eyes. We survived. No, Aaron said softly. We delayed. The alien armada changed formation again. This time they moved with slow, perfect precision. Something enormous was forming in the center of their fleet, a giant cannon on the largest council flagship. A weapon big enough to destroy continents. They're preparing the final shot, Mara whispered, voice trembling. Aaron didn't blink. And we prepare our answer. He turned to the war table. Signal all Earth fleets. This is Commander Aaron Hayes. His voice carried strength, iron fire. Humanity stands alone. But we stand. Every pilot, every captain, every soldier across the sky heard his voice. Fight hard. Fight smart. Fight for our home. Aaron raised his hand. Defense fleet, move out. Human ships surged forward like a rising storm, engines roaring, weapons glowing. Earth would not wait for the Council's final shot. Earth would strike first. And for the first time, as the alien armada watched the small human fleet charge toward them, a strange feeling spread through their ranks. Doubt. Human ships rushed forward like a streak of blue light, engines burning brighter than stars. Compared to the alien armada, they looked small, fragile, almost harmless. But every pilot inside those ships carried something the Council had forgotten. Human will. Inside the command ship Valor's Edge, Commander Aaron Hayes watched the enemy fleet grow larger on the main window. The alien ships looked like floating mountains, massive bodies of steel and crystal, glowing with deadly energy. His own ships looked like insects in comparison. But insects could bite. Commander, Mara said from her station, enemy ships charging weapons again. Aaron nodded. All ships, hold formation. Not yet. Behind him, the crew exchanged confused looks. Why wasn't Aaron ordering the fleet to fire? Why let the aliens prepare another attack? Mara leaned close to him. Sir, if we wait too long. Aaron raised a hand. They expect us to panic. They think we will fire first. Let them think it. The truth was simple. Humanity had hidden something from the galaxy. A secret weapon. A secret plan. A secret advantage. Silent protocol. Only a handful of people knew what it really was. And even fewer had seen it used. The Council believed humans were primitive. Old weapons. Old tactics. Slow technology. Predictable style. They were wrong. A communications officer called out, Commander, alien ships locking on us. The main screen flashed with red warnings. The first wave of enemy cruisers pointed their weapons at the human fleet. Aaron didn't move. Wait, he said softly. The alien ships fired. Dozens of bright blue beams shot toward the human fleet. Impact in 3 seconds, a pilot shouted. 2 seconds. Commander. Aaron pressed a button on the console. Activate phase shift. And then it happened. The human fleet disappeared. The alien beams sliced through empty space, hitting nothing but darkness. Confused enemy commanders ordered scans, but their sensors showed 0 targets. As if the human ships had simply ceased to exist. Mara stared in shock. I thought phase shift was experimental. Aaron allowed himself a faint smile. It was. Now it isn't. Phase shift wasn't a cloak. It wasn't stealth. It was something far more dangerous. A temporary displacement field, sliding human ships a fraction of a second out of sync with normal space. Untouchable. Invisible. Only for 10 seconds. 10 precious seconds. Bring us back, Aaron ordered. Human ships reappeared behind the alien front line, right in the center of the enemy formation. The Council fleet panicked. Fire all weapons. Aaron shouted. Human ships unleashed their hidden power. Not lasers. Not plasma. Not energy beams. Kinetic weaponry. Solid metal slugs launched at impossible speeds, faster than anything the aliens had ever seen. Pure physical force, unstoppable and brutal. The Council's energy shields were built to block lasers and plasma, not metal traveling at 20 kilometers per second. The first alien cruiser hit by a kinetic round tore open like paper. The second exploded into a cloud of burning fragments. The third split cleanly into two pieces. Impossible, an alien commander cried across open frequencies. How can primitive weapons do this? Aaron heard the panic in their voice. Good. More kinetic rounds fired, lighting up space with shockwaves. Human destroyers cut through the enemy formation like blades. Alien ships tried to reposition, but the humans were already moving too fast, too unpredictable. This was silent protocol. Humans had designed their entire fleet to counter the Council. Not with superior size. Not with superior power. But with superior thinking. Mara looked at the screen breathless. Sir, we're destroying them. Keep the pressure on, Aaron said. Don't give them time to adapt. The Council tried to respond. Their heavy cruisers rotated, preparing to launch a huge energy blast at the human ships. But Aaron was ready. Second shift. Move. Human ships vanished again, another phase shift jump, reappearing at the enemy fleet's blind spot. Before the aliens could turn, human missiles launched, each one splitting into smaller projectiles mid-flight. 5 more Council ships exploded. 2 battleships lost control and drifted into each other, causing a massive fiery collision. The galaxy had never seen humans fight like this. Fast, flexible, relentless. The Council's perfect formation shattered into chaos. Inside the Council flagship, alien officers screamed orders, desperate to regain control. Why can't we track them? What are these weapons? Humans were not supposed to have this power. Aaron heard every word through intercepted channels. He understood their fear. The Council had always believed the same lie. Humans were weak. They thought humanity would break under pressure. They were wrong. For the first time in the battle, Aaron allowed himself a small breath of relief. We can win this, Mara whispered. Aaron shook his head. No, not yet. This is only their first wave. The Council will not accept defeat. As if the universe wanted to prove him right, the main screen flashed red. A new enemy signature appeared. Bigger than anything before. The Council's supercarrier. A giant warship with a weapon strong enough to burn continents. Mara stepped closer, face pale. Commander, that ship is aiming directly at Earth. Aaron tightened his fists. Then he spoke, voice cold as steel. Prepare all ships. We defend our home. Humanity had revealed its hidden power. Now the Council would reveal theirs. The Council's supercarrier appeared on the main screen like a rising metal moon. It was massive, so huge that even the other alien battleships looked small beside it. Its dark body stretched for miles, covered in glowing symbols and armor plates thicker than mountains. Every human officer went silent. Mara whispered, that thing, it can destroy a whole planet. Aaron nodded slowly. Yes. And that is exactly why they brought it. The control room lights flickered as scanners struggled to read the ship's energy levels. The supercarrier's main cannon was charging, pulling in power like a hungry star. If that blast hit Earth, everything would end. Commander, a technician shouted. The cannon will be fully charged in 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes until extinction. Aaron straightened his uniform. All ships, regroup on my signal. We go for the core. Mara stared at him. Sir, attacking that ship is suicide. Aaron responded with a sharp look. So is doing nothing. The entire human fleet tightened around Valor's edge. Engines glowed, weapons locked, crews braced themselves. The Council fleet struggled to reorganize, but human phase shift attacks had scattered them into chaos. The Council's commanders watched helplessly as the small human ships approached their giant supercarrier. This is madness, a Council officer shouted. They are insects. They cannot harm us. But the fear in his voice betrayed him. Humans were not insects. They were predators. And predators defend their home. The Council fleet tried to block the human path. Heavy cruisers moved forward, firing huge energy blasts. But human ships dodged them with fast maneuvers the aliens were never trained to counter. Phase shift ready, a pilot yelled. Aaron raised his hand. Shift. In an instant the human fleet vanished again. Alien weapons hit nothing but space. A moment later the humans reappeared, right above the Council's supercarrier. Fire. Aaron shouted. The sky lit up. Hundreds of kinetic rounds slammed into the carrier's armor. The sound echoed through space like thunder. Giant chunks of metal ripped away. Shockwaves tore through the giant ship. But the carrier did not fall. Not yet. Instead, it turned its massive cannon toward Earth again, glowing brighter, hotter, more deadly. 2 minutes left. Mara looked at the readings. Commander, their armor is too strong. We can't break through fast enough. Aaron studied the supercarrier carefully. Then he saw it, the weak point. A central power spine running across the ship's back, exposed during charging. Aaron pointed. Aim there. Break the spine and the cannon will overload. Every human captain understood. And every human ship moved. They charged downward like a rain of steel, firing everything they had. Alien turrets tried to shoot them down, but human fighters weaved between energy blasts like sparks in a storm. One by one, kinetic rounds hit the spine. Impact, impact, impact. But the spine held. It glowed, cracked, but did not break. Commander, we need more firepower. Mara shouted. Aaron clenched his jaw. There was one option left. A weapon no one wanted to use. A weapon too powerful, too risky. But Earth had no choice. Prepare the lance. The room froze. Mara turned slowly. Sir. The lance could destroy our own ships too. Aaron met her gaze. If that cannon fires, there won't be ships left to destroy. The crew moved in silence, fear on their faces but determination in their hearts. They activated the lance, a long-range kinetic spear designed specifically for one thing: breaking godlike ships. The weapon hummed as it unlocked. 1 minute left. Alien commanders realized what was happening. Their voices screamed across open channels. Stop the humans. Fire everything. Protect the spine. But it was too late. Lance ready, Mara said. Aaron lifted his hand, then brought it down with force. Fire. The lance shot out from Valor's edge like a burning comet, faster than anything ever fired in battle. It cut through the void in a straight, perfect line. Alien shields tried to block it. They failed. The lance struck the power spine with a violent explosion of white light. The supercarrier shook, twisted, and the spine shattered like glass. Power surge, a technician shouted. The carrier's main cannon glowed too bright, then overloaded. A massive explosion erupted from the center of the ship. Flames, metal, and debris burst outward in every direction. Human ships pulled away just in time as the supercarrier tore itself apart. The shockwave hit the Council fleet, throwing enemy ships into each other. Smaller ships broke instantly. Larger ships lost power and drifted helplessly. Mara stared at the screen in disbelief. Sir? The carrier is gone. Aaron didn't smile. There was no time. Focus on the rest of their fleet. But the truth was clear. The Council fleet was broken. Their leaders were dead. Their ships were damaged. Their formation was gone. Some tried to flee. Some tried to surrender. Some simply froze in place, overwhelmed by terror. Because they had just learned the one truth the galaxy had ignored for too long. Humanity was not prey. Humanity was the storm. Behind Aaron, the room filled with shouts of victory, relieved tears, and exhausted laughter. But he kept his eyes on the enemy ships still drifting in space. The battle was not finished. Not yet. We keep fighting, Aaron said, until the last enemy ship is down. And with those words, the human fleet turned toward the broken remains of the Council's armada, ready to end this war. Space had gone strangely quiet. After the supercarrier's explosion, debris drifted like dead stars across the battlefield. Fires burned on broken alien ships. Hundreds of Council vessels floated without power, engines cold, lights dark. Humanity had won the biggest battle. But the war was not over. Aaron looked over the battlefield from the bridge of Valor's edge. His eyes moved slowly across the damage, across the silent enemy ships, across the ruins of what had once been the Council's greatest armada. They're defeated, Mara whispered. Aaron shook his head. No. Defeated armies retreat. This is something else. The enemy fleet was not retreating. They weren't regrouping. They were simply frozen. It looked wrong. Too quiet. Too still. Like something terrible was waiting to happen. A junior officer checked the scanners again and frowned. Sir, I don't think they're surrendering. But they're not charging weapons either. It's like they're waiting for a signal. Aaron felt something cold settle in his chest. The Council wasn't known for giving up. And they sure weren't known for staying silent. So why now? Open long-range scanners, Aaron ordered. The screen flickered, then filled with readings. Enemy ships. Hundreds. No, thousands. Far beyond the battlefield, still moving through space, still approaching. A second wave. Aaron felt the weight of it hit him. That's their real force, he said quietly. Mara stared at the data in horror. This wasn't an invasion. This was the decoy. The bridge went silent. The Council had sacrificed their first armada. Sacrificed their supercarrier. Sacrificed thousands of ships. Just to study humanity's new weapon. Just to see phase shift in action. Just to measure human response time. Just to watch Earth's fleets fight. Aaron clenched his fists. They wanted to learn how to defeat us. A new battle was coming. A bigger one. A final one. And Earth wasn't ready. "Sir," a communications officer shouted. "We're receiving a broadcast." Aaron turned sharply. "From who?" "From the Council's high command." Everyone froze. The screen opened with a blinding light, then a tall alien figure appeared. Its long limbs and sharp crest were symbols of authority. Its eyes glowed with cold intelligence. "Humans," the alien said. Its voice was smooth and cruel. "Your resistance has been impressive." Mara muttered, "They're mocking us." The alien continued, "You have destroyed one of our carriers. You have killed our admirals. You have shown unexpected creativity." It tilted its head slightly. "But creativity will not save you." Aaron stepped forward. "State your purpose." The alien smiled, if that twisted expression could be called a smile. "We have analyzed your new phase shift technology. We understand your battle patterns. And now humanity will be erased from the stars. Your planet will burn. Your species will kneel or die." Lights on the enemy screens showed the second wave moving faster, charging weapons. The alien leaned closer to the camera. "Prepare for extinction." The broadcast ended. Silence returned to the bridge. A long, dark, heavy silence. Mara whispered, "Sir, what do we do?" Aaron closed his eyes for a moment. He thought of Earth. He thought of the cities, the oceans, the families waking up not knowing that death was coming for them. He opened his eyes again. "We fight," he said simply. "But, Commander," another officer said, voice shaking, "we barely handled the first wave. The second wave, it's 10 times larger. Maybe more." Aaron turned to face him. "And what does that change?" The officer swallowed hard. "It means we can't win this." Aaron looked at him steadily, the way a soldier looks at a storm on the horizon. "We don't fight because we can win," he said. "We fight because we are human." The bridge fell silent again. But this silence was different. This silence was strength. A message came through from the outer patrol ships. "Commander, the enemy's second wave will reach firing range in 20 minutes. 20 minutes until humanity's last battle. 20 minutes until extinction, or victory." Mara checked the fleet's energy levels. "Sir, we're low on power. Shields are damaged. Fighters are nearly out of reserves." Aaron nodded. "Understood." He turned to the officers. "Prepare every ship. Send a message to Earth. Activate all planetary defenses. Tell them to brace for the second wave." The officers moved quickly, fear replaced by purpose. Then another voice called out. "Sir, something else is happening." Aaron turned sharply. "What now?" The technician's voice trembled. "The remaining Council ships, the ones here in the debris field, they're waking up." The enemy ship's lights flickered on one by one. Engines activated. Weapons powered up. Formations tightened. They weren't broken. They weren't defeated. They were waiting. Waiting for the second wave to arrive. Aaron exhaled slowly. "So the trap is complete." Mara looked at him. "Sir, is this the end?" Aaron stared at the thousands of enemy readings. The battlefield that was about to be reborn into chaos. The darkness coming toward Earth. Then he whispered, "No." He stepped forward, his voice steady and cold. "This is not the end." He pointed at the approaching wave. "This is the part where humanity shows the galaxy who we really are." Every officer felt a chill. Aaron wasn't afraid. He was ready. "Prepare for final strike position," he ordered. "All ships. All crews. Everyone." The alarms sounded. Lights flashed red. Engines roared. The human fleet rose into formation one more time. Because the enemy thought Earth would break. They had no idea. Humanity was only getting started. The second wave of the Council Armada moved like a dark ocean across space. Thousands of ships, each one powerful enough to burn a city. Their engines glowed red. Their weapons charged. Their formation shaped into a perfect killing line. It was the largest fleet Earth had ever seen. And it was coming for humanity. On the bridge of Valor's edge, every officer felt the pressure. Some hands shook. Some breaths trembled. But no one stepped back. Commander Aaron stood at the front, watching the distant lights grow brighter. The enemy ships looked like stars, stars that promised death. Enemy entering firing range in 5 minutes, a technician reported. The words fell heavy across the room. But Aaron didn't blink. Bring up Earth Command, he ordered. The screen split, revealing Earth's Defense Council, leaders, generals, scientists. Behind them, huge windows showed Earth itself. Blue oceans, white clouds, peaceful cities. So small compared to the fleet coming to destroy it. A general spoke first. Commander Aaron, we see the readings. The enemy fleet is enormous. Aaron nodded. Yes, sir. They intend to erase humanity. A scientist stepped forward, face pale. Commander, we have one option left. But you're not going to like it. Mara turned sharply. What option? The scientist hesitated, then said the name quietly. The Aegis Protocol. Silence filled the bridge. Everyone knew the name. Everyone feared it. The Aegis Protocol was the most powerful planetary defense ever created. It used Earth's magnetic field, orbital satellites, fusion reactors, and the combined output of every human ship. It created a massive energy pulse, a shield so strong it could stun entire fleets. But there was a cost. If timed wrong, the pulse could destroy Earth's own systems. If too powerful, it could fry every ship in orbit, including Valor's Edge. If too weak, Earth would die anyway. Aaron exhaled slowly. Activate Aegis Protocol. The general looked shocked. Commander. No time for debate, Aaron said. Do it. Earth Command nodded reluctantly. Across the planet, power grids aligned. Satellites rotated. Reactors charged. The magnetic field began to bend and vibrate, responding to the massive surge of energy building beneath the surface. The whole world was waking up. The technician on the bridge called out, fear mixing with awe. Sir, Earth's energy is rising. Faster than projected. Aaron watched the readings. Good. Mara whispered, if this fails, Earth will lose power for years. Aaron looked at her. If we don't try, Earth won't have years. The last confirmation came from Earth Command. Aegis is ready. Awaiting your signal. Aaron turned toward the screen showing the enemy second wave. It was so close now. Huge. Terrifying. Endless. The council ships lit their main cannons. Long beams of blue energy stretched out, charging for the first strike. If even one hit Earth, billions would die. Commander, the communications officer said. The council is broadcasting again. Put it through. The same alien high commander appeared, calm and confident. Humans, your resistance ends now. Accept extinction with dignity. Aaron stepped forward, staring directly into the alien's cold eyes. No. The alien blinked, confused. No. Aaron spoke clearly. You made one mistake. You thought humanity would fight alone. He raised his hand. Aegis, fire. Earth's answer was not words. It was light. A brilliant pulse erupted from Earth, blinding and white, racing outward like a sun exploding. It passed through satellites, human ships, and then into the void. For a moment, the entire battlefield glowed like a new star being born. The council ships fired. But their beams disintegrated instantly, torn apart by the energy wave. Then the pulse hit the front line of the second wave. Alien shields overloaded. Metal hulls cracked. Thousands of ships lost power at the same time, engines falling silent. Their formations collapsed. Their weapons flickered and shut down. The second wave froze in space, crippled in a single blast. The High Commander screamed through the broadcast, Impossible! Your world cannot produce this power. Aaron answered, You never understood humans. He pointed forward. Fire everything we have. The human fleet surged. Fighters launched. Cannons roared. Missiles screamed through space. The Council's first wave was already broken. Now the second wave was helpless. Human ships tore through them like lightning through clouds. Alien cruisers exploded. Battleships split apart. Admirals screamed commands that no one could follow. Earth's pulse had not only shut them down, it had destroyed their entire battle plan. The High Commander watched his armada collapse. His face twisted with disbelief. You are monsters. Aaron shook his head. We are humans. He leaned closer to the screen. And humans don't lose their home. A final blast from Valor's Edge tore through the High Commander's flagship, ending his transmission forever. Minutes later, the last Council ship exploded. Silence returned to space, this time true silence. A soft cheer rose in the bridge. Then a louder one. Then the whole ship roared with victory. Officers hugged each other. Some cried. Some fell to their knees in relief. Mara wiped tears from her eyes. Sir, we did it. Aaron finally allowed himself to breathe. The tension in his shoulders loosened. Earth is safe, he said quietly. The stars outside looked different now. Not because they had changed, but because humanity had. They had faced the greatest armada in galactic history. They had survived extinction. They had shown the galaxy what humans truly were. Not prey. Not victims. Not a small world to be conquered. But a force no empire could crush. A voice came from Earth Command. Commander Aaron, thank you. On behalf of every human alive today, thank you. Aaron looked at Earth, glowing blue and calm, protected by the Aegis shield. This victory, he said softly, belongs to all of us. And as the fleet turned toward home, one truth spread across the galaxy. They wanted humanity defeated. But Earth's response erased their armies, their fleets, their pride, and their future. HFY.